Rutgers, the number 6. Earlier today, Michigan prevails over Ohio State. Luke Wierman digging in at the face-off dot against John Dugenio. The officials, the referees are Mike Harrell, Christy Felice, and Keith Glock. Off and running with the Terps on home turf in the white jerseys.
Right off the bat, Dugenio wins the draw on the face-off, plays it behind him, but look at this tenacious ride by Maryland.
Scarlet Knights come up with the ground ball. It's Stahanczyk, who was outstanding last week in a losing effort against Penn State. Stahanczyk scored his first career goal, had 6, leads the Terps in assists. He sets up Kelly there. A couple dozen goals for Daniel. Tallies in all 13 games this season for the Terrapins, who break out on top and come right back and get possession off the draw.
On Kelly, not only does he score that goal, that was just a nifty ground ball that he picked up. Walking the tightrope of the top of the restraining box, got the ball on his stick. That allowed him to disrupt that shooting motion. Amons doesn't, and he scores.
New Jersey native has career highs across the board. Face-off win. Dugenio going right to the cooker. Rupel there at the end of the line makes the stop. And now the nation's #1 clearing team clears easily with Luke Wierman bringing the ball to the offensive third.
A good save by Rupel, read it all the way. I love the opportunity from Dugenio, and I like how he's facing off so far. He's
cold of late, no goals in 3 of his last 4 outings, gets on the board early, giving Maryland the advantage. And off the draw, possession for the Terps. No running space there at all. Down to the deck goes the long stick midfielder LeJon Jones. Rutgers effort
by Kelly.
Back to the face-off dot we go. Maryland on top by 2. Wierman comes out of the pack, pops this one up to the long stick midfielder Jack McDonald. It's Maryland ball.
Man, and again, you know, Ethan Raw, you just talked about all the superlatives with Ethan and White, and whips it past Kyle Mullen.
Now, Ken Newman subbing in now for Dugenio. Deal with this man who's all over the Maryland record book when it comes to face-offs, and Luke Wierman. Wierman told us about Joe Newman, the Yale transfer. He's very strong, a powerful clamp. This pass gets away, rolls out of bounds, and right back to Maryland with just 7 seconds remaining in the quarter.
It's so frustrating if you're a Rutgers fan. Both goalies are tall. You know, Mullen obviously a lot taller than Rupel, but both are efficient in their movements. Both track the ball very.
Scarlet Knights faithful are pleased with the work from the offensive coordinator, Eric Saramet. Asking number 5, Ross Scott, to attack from different spots on the field. Amon has a pair. He has 7 multi-goal games this season.
Talented player, you know, who's just going to have to step up a little bit. Justin Kim is a player for Rutgers who has gotten a lot of runs. Is a good goal by Daniel Kelly and a man-up face-off for the Maryland Terrapins.
For Kelly, his 5th career hat trick and a 5-2 lead. Wierman gets the ball right back for Maryland. Off the ensuing face-up. Waiting for offensive.
And then a dart from number 33 in red.
The son of Mark and Karen, Jack Amon, with his 3rd hat trick of this season. He had a 4-goal spree against St. John's earlier in the campaign.
Terp slides it underneath Kyle Mullen.
The playmaking Urksa with a hat trick of assists. Newman and Wierman at the face-off dot, and it's Luke Wierman, in whom the Maryland coaches have so much trust. He earns the ball back for Maryland.
Completely crossed Maryland up. I love how Knobloch was the party starter, and a beautiful finish.
Rutgers has 4 different 20-plus goal scorers. For Cardilla, just his 2nd on the season. Whittier with tallies in 4 of his last 6. He potted 2 against Rutgers a couple of weeks ago. Urksa, another assist. That's 4 for the fabulous freshman. Geppert's pass intended for Urksa gets away, and this is a turnover back over to Rutgers. 4 minutes separating us from our halftime festivities. We'll share highlights.
To advance to the semifinals in Baltimore.
Are you going lyrics on me already?
Oh yeah, I know you're such a big fan of the pregame music. I thought I'd keep the party going.
You did. Shocked me a little, but hey, I'm all for it. Back comes Schaller for Maryland in a 7-5 game. Less than 3 minutes to go. And on me already?
Oh yeah, I know you're such a big fan of the pregame music. I thought I'd keep the party going.
You did. Shocked me a little, but hey, I'm all for it. Back comes Schaller for Maryland in a 7-5 game. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first half from CQ Stadium in College Park. Temperatures in the low 60s when we began. An 8 p.m. Eastern time start. Luke Wierman continues to etch his name throughout the Maryland record book when it comes to faceoffs. Superlatives everywhere for him.
How impressive has he been in his Maryland Terrapin career? And don't shake too much, folks. He's back for one more year.
He was thrilled to let us know that, too.
Yeah.
Burks chasing a lead. They enjoy as we begin the second half in this second Big Ten quarterfinal. Luke Wierman wins the opening draw. Joe Beninati and Mark Maltz with his 15th career hat trick. 4 of those on the campaign. Came in tied for first in golds for Maryland this season. Wierman up at the dot gets the better of Dugenio. It's Maryland ball.
I just feel like we've seen this script so many times, 18 times to be exact, in the play of the Big Ten. Maryland, Rutgers. It's just Maryland wears them down, gets them to a point where Rutgers has to make plays. Maryland more dangerous and more unpredictable moving forward.
Wierman then beats Joe Newman, the transfer from Yale, on the draw. Luke Wierman's impressive night continues at the faceoff dot. Luke talked about all of those 4-goal games this season now. Earlier against Loyola, Syracuse, and Ohio State. Possession of the ball gets awarded to Luke Wierman off the draw. And this is where
Rutgers catches a break on the offensive end. Let's see if they can capitalize and build on it.
Can they get a draw here? Ball bounced around. Dugenio comes up with it, beating Wierman and getting possession, much needed for Rutgers now. The Scarlet Knights ending a 21-plus minute drought with that goal from Knobloch. He was the man who had the last goal for Rutgers late in the second quarter. Bounce shot here. Score! Right back at you. Exactly what the doctor ordered from Cameron.
This is what Rutgers has to do. You just have to hope that they've got a little bit more funk in their bag for the rest of regulation. I love the exchange right here. Scott drifts and drags the defense to the right-handed side. He just was going to ball reversal to Cameron. I like how the big body absorbs the check, gets above goal line extended, and puts it behind Brian Ruppel.
Cameron, who's played in 11 games this season, has scored in 10 of them. Urksa has the ball for Maryland now. The 2 tallies for the Scarlet Knights, a mile away from where we are. Not even that, in fact. But he's the guy with the golf pass, and his teammates make sure that Kyle's calling early for tee time.
He's a popular guy. You got the golf pass around here in College Park. Solves Kyle Mullen.
Rutgers close defender Bobby Russo said it matter-of-factly. That guy doesn't play like a freshman. And he shows off there. Couple of goals for the Terps in less than a minute. Breathing a little easier now, on top by 6.
And just like that, a 4-goal game has turned into a 7-goal advantage for the Maryland Terrapins.
Spanos, a dozen goals this season. No points last week when Maryland was tripped up by arch rival Johns Hopkins 12-11 here. Wierman wins another draw. The frustrations mount for the Scarlet Knight faithful. They're playing catch-up and they can't get the ball.
Yeah, and that's where Luke Wierman is a stud. I mean, he's just the best in the game. All due respect to Petey LaSalla, but in 2 meetings last year with Virginia, Wierman's at the face-off dot, a 5-goal deficit with 5 minutes left in the game. It's not unheard of, but it will be tough.
Wierman not allowing himself to be bulldozed off the line there by Dugenio. Wierman says of Dugenio, an outstanding athlete, gets to his feet so quickly. But it was Knobloch who said a couple of weeks ago that the Scarlet Knights came out very timid in the first go-round with Maryland. They're trying to claw their way back with less than 5 minutes to go on enemy turf this season. Can he get the ball from Wierman? He did, but he went early.
Yeah, just jumped. And that'll be the 3rd violation against Rutgers, I believe, this quarter. I'm sorry, this half. So that is going to be a man-up situation for the Maryland Terrapins.
Dugenio knew it. As soon as it happened, he raced his way to the sideline. with his team trailing by 4 and just over 3 minutes to play. Against the Terps this season for Savetti. At the face-off dot, Dugenio and Wierman, and it is Wierman who had it for a moment in his cross but lost it. Ethan Rahl takes it off the turf for Rutgers, 1:08 to play. The deficit is 3.